Hello and welcome back to the weekly live stream for Madmen with the Box, all about the Doctor Who news and since Doctor Who is back, we are recording new episodes, of course, while Blue Yonder. Towards the end, I am joined with ProfPixel.
Hello. You sound like you're drowning, Chris.
Am I drowning?
Now you're clear.
Yeah.
Now I'm clear?
Yeah.
Now I can hear you. Yeah, I was having trouble
clear
hearing
enough?
you too.
I'm right at the mic.
Yes.
You sound great now.
All right, perfect. Sorry. Didn't know that. I don't like to listen to myself, so. But of course, we are also joined by one last of the lands. One
Hello.
Walker. Hello. Why is he the last of them? I don't know.
There can be only one Landry.
Did you trap them in a cube?
There is a story behind my contacting the other Landry walkers in the world, but we'll talk about that later. It is a real thing that happened, but we got Doctor Who to talk about. If there's time, I'll explain that.
Okay. Okay.
We only have one news story, but I instead have show and tell. So
I also have show and tell, but you go first.
I made the mistake of going on a site called Hot Topic, and I noticed this. And it was on sale for their weekend sale, so I had to get it. This is my new coat.
Oh,
this is a 60th anniversary double-breasted coat. Doctor Who. In the front pocket up here, there's a little sonic screwdriver. This one.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And then inside, you can't really tell because the camera's not going to be able to. This is TARDIS print.
I can faintly see it. Yeah, I can faintly see it.
Yeah. No, this is everything I wanted. I had to get it. And now I look cool. It's long too. It's got length. It's great.
It'd be great for you over there, not for me when it's hot as hell.
Well, I'm going up to Tennessee, so it'll be cool up there.
That's good. That's good. Well,
it's summer where you are right now, right?
Yes,
Chris?
Unfortunately, yeah. It's the beginning of summer.
Yeah.
So when the song's playing, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas that doesn't apply to Australia.
No,
it's very much
that's
a fiery hellhole. This isn't even the hottest. This is the start of summer.
I mean, I'm in California, so we don't really have seasons here. Like, our winter is slightly colder than our summer, and that's it.
For us Floridians, it's not even winter usually being cold. It's spring. Spring is when the cold sets in.
Colder summer, you call it.
Yeah, well, summer is hell. Summer is your summer, which is your winter. So your winter is our summer. Okay.
Yeah. It sounds like some crazy timey-wimey stuff.
Wibbly wobbly.
Bringing it back to Doctor Who.
Bring it back to Doctor Who. My show and tell. My copy of The Evil of the Daleks book came. I wish it arrived by Supernova so I could get it signed by Fraser Hines himself, but I got it eventually. I haven't read it yet because I just finished Cold Fusion. So I'm eager to read it. Considering the premise of it is just Jamie recounting Evil of the Daleks to Zoe. So it's essentially two Doctor Who stories in one. It's Wheel in Space and Evil of the Daleks, but primarily the latter of the two. So that'd be interesting to read. So I got that one.
Yeah. Anything else to show?
No.
Okay. Then we only have one news story to talk about this week, and it is as long as it's got length something. Moran, we only got one news story to talk about, and it is an exciting one. There's no secret here on the channel. We love Big Finish's release of the 11th Doctor Chronicles, starring Jacob Dudman as the 11th Doctor with his companion Valerie. Well, they have announced the final box set, and it is called Victory of the Doctor. And what is back? What is back? Oh, Paradigm, my blessed. Oh, my beloved. Oh. I don't know.
Granted, I don't like the Paradigm Daleks because they're kind of goofy, and they just didn't commit to it. They just if you want to make these new Daleks, commit to it, but they didn't. They just like put them off to the side and brought back the RTD ones instead, which are the superior designs.
It was a mistake.
But this is a great cover, regardless.
The Paradigm, and the Paradigm has actually been they've altered the models a little bit to get rid of the hump.
Yep. Lost Landry.
Oh, well, hopefully he'll be back.
Hopefully we'll get Landry back. Hopefully.
After I go ahead and say, this is what I've been waiting for. People were just talking about how. Why aren't the Paradigm Daleks being used by Big Finish at least? Like, they could do something with it. And there it is. There it is. Oh, it's so great.
Because you could use literally any other Dalek.
The Paradigm is supreme. There's literally one called the Supreme.
Well, guess what? Every other Dalek faction has had a Supreme as well.
It doesn't matter.
Wait, is this like you'd say the Paradigm basically means supreme, right? Like Apex, Supreme, Paradigm, all that sort of thing?
The ones from Victory of the Daleks.
Right. But you're saying it's repetitive? Is that what you're saying? It's a redundancy in title to have a Supreme of the Paradigm?
Yeah, much like the redundancy of having something called an Eternal Dalek and just never explain its role.
But that's why
everyone else has very obvious roles. Supreme Dalek, in charge, drone.
You've got to have a Supreme Dalek. Of a group that is Paradigm, this is the Supreme.
I was actually mixing up the Eternal with the Supreme. I forgot that the Eternal was the name of the one.
Every Dalek.
Well, no, I'm actually asking what is.
Sorry, you were saying, Landry?
I'm actually asking, what is the actual definition of Paradigm?
Let me Google it.
Now I'm wondering too. Paradigm definition.
I don't know.
Pattern thing. Set of linguistic items that form.
What's that? You're hard to hear.
Sorry, I'm just reading the Google definition.
The definition.
Okay.
The first definition is a typical example or pattern of something, a model. And the example given: there is a new paradigm for public art in this country. So
these are the new typical Daleks.
That's what they were supposed to be, and then
and they weren't.
People were upset because they dislike color, I guess.
I loved these Daleks, except for the hump on the back. I loved these Daleks.
So this model, it's actually been adjusted just a little bit. They got rid of the hump, and they added. This one has a Time War era special weapons Dalek. It's great.
Oh, okay. You
should look back on this stream afterwards so you can see.
The funny thing is with them having designed the Daleks like this, they did it with Karen Gillan in mind and just never had them in the same scene.
How did they do it with her in mind? What was the logic?
Height-wise.
Oh, okay.
They wanted the Daleks to still be also tall. They wanted it to be tall in intimidation, as tall as Karen Gillan because she's tall. But I
didn't know she was tall. How tall is she?
What's Karen Gillan?
I'm all full of questions tonight.
Yeah. 1.8 meters.
I'm American. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I know, right?
What's one? That's what.
7.5 feet. I'm not sure. 9 feet.
Probably.
She's 9 feet tall.
God, I wish. Just killing me right there.
So about 5'9".
That's
Almost
tall.
6,
That's tall for a
almost
woman.
6.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the Daleks were just slightly shorter, like the RTD era ones. They're like, we need to make him taller to account for Karen Gillan's height, and they just never shared a scene. That's so funny that they just never shared a scene.
It's a weird choice not to use them properly. I'm never going to be okay with that choice.
So even if I never liked the design, but like they should have at least committed to it, but they didn't because a huge majority just didn't like the designs. So it's like, let's go back to the ones everyone liked, the RTD ones.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, I didn't want them to be all the Daleks. I just wanted them to be specialists. Like when we saw Dalek Sec and the other 3 Daleks in the Doomsday. I wanted a group of specialist Daleks, and maybe I thought, and then I started thinking, what if each one of them ends up with their own faction and there's a civil war again between different, each with different ones of those Daleks on different sides? I would leading the factions, because one of my favorite moments with the Daleks is that civil war during the Sylvester McCoy era. I just love that.
Yeah. Well, that's what they kind of did, because then you had Asylum of the Daleks, where they primarily brought back the RTD era Daleks, but the White Supreme was still there, but it's like relegated to second in command. The red ones are now like, they're essentially like captains or sergeants of like the drones.
Well, that works okay. I didn't realize they did that. That's all right, as long as they're in there somewhere.
But then they phased them out.
Yeah,
completely.
they just threw them away. They didn't realize that these big, beautiful boys are capable of so much more. I love them. I love the paradigm. Paradigm for life. I'm ready.
I'm going to call them the typical from now on.
The typical
The
Daleks.
typical.
I don't understand hating the colors. Like, one of the best things about the movies is the bright colors that come out of the Daleks. It's great.
There's always been colorful Daleks here and there. Like, yes, I know we had bronze ones for a very long time, and we had gray ones for a long time before that. But you go back to the Pertwee era, we got colorful Daleks in there.
Yeah.
I love it.
And that's the only time because, black and white. But it wasn't until Tom Baker era that the Daleks became gunmetal gray, and that fit Genesis of the Daleks very well. But I didn't think that was meant to. That's because they were new. I always thought they should grow from there. But then all the Daleks for a long time were exactly that. Just like Russell T Davies Daleks show up, and like that's all the Daleks now. Why?
Give me color, or give me death. Give me death in color. Exterminate!
On this note, something I would say, speaking of Dalek designs that were universally reviled, the 13th Doctor era Dalek, the Daleks that were created from spare parts or whatever on Earth, I liked that concept.
Did you?
I didn't like the execution. I like the idea of a splinter group of Daleks forming, and then the Daleks proper showing up going, yeah, you're impure. No. And those Daleks are, but wait, we're also Daleks.
The best part of that episode, what was it?
Resolution
of the Daleks. It's when the old Daleks come in and they're like, screw you. Just start destroying them.
It's great. It's more Dalek Civil War. It's a purity purge, but whatever. That's what they are. They're awful space metal space Nazis. They're monsters, and any divergency. But I love that the Daleks that do diverge don't understand that they are the divergence, and also would hate divergency.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, all I'm saying is, I like Dalek designs to be all over the place and have lots of meaning and represent lots of factions. Cybermen, I want those to be a progression. That's a different thing. But at least I will say something else. The 13th Era Doctor brought back the handlebar heads. I like that. So win on that. Anyway, that's my aside.
Yep. I think both Chris and I are really excited for this release. Like, we still have a whole nother box set before this one, and the Cybermen will be in that one, and then finally,
and it's the Cybers ones, which haven't been used really in ages, aside from like short cameos.
Which ones?
Yeah.
The Pete's World Cybermen from the alternate universe.
Oh, wait, it's really the ones from that one?
I don't know. It's just that
the ones with the logo on their chest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because we have two different versions of those. We have those from Pete's universe. They have the logo on the design, and then we have the normal universe of the same design without the logo, and that's the distinction. Ones with the logo are from Pete's universe. Ones without are from the normal universe.
Yeah. And they don't explain it. You just have to kind of assume that, like, they either integrated with them or just copied their design or evolved similar.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense if those alternate universe Cybermen show up in our universe or whatever, the universe Cybermen go, yes, this is an upgrade. Let's all merge together into a larger group of Cybermen and let's adapt your mobile suit because they're better armored.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm all for that.
But yes, look out for the victory of the Doctor. It's the finale of the 11th Doctor Chronicles. Pixel and I will definitely be reviewing that. I'm waiting for Pixel to finish making his concoction.
Sorry.
There we go. But we do have some small bits of news before we go into the review. The first being that Russell has revealed one of the episode titles for the next series. It's supposedly the second episode. It is called The Devil's Cord. So I'm thinking there's been, talks about there being a musical episode possibly. What if it's just an adaptation of Tenacious D's greatest song in the world? Just the Doctor fighting the devil again through song. I don't know. It's just a title. There's not much we can really
Davies is good with that, with the way he knows how to tease things. I remember an interview with him years and years ago, where he said they're not spoilers, they're ruiners. Like he said, I don't control how the studio releases its information. They want to advertise, they want to promote, but they ruin the episodes for you. So when he releases information directly, I generally trust that it's not going to be a true spoiler. It's going to be curated in some capacity. It's not telling us something that really matters, Yeah. Because he's on a production side of things. He's very aware and has made it very apparent that he is aware that any information can not just they ruin your experience, your viewing experience, if you know too much. And we talked about this last week about knowing the regeneration. That's an extreme version, obviously, but like just knowing, for an example, that and spoilers for anyone, or ruiners for anyone listening here who did not watch the last week episode that we have not reviewed yet. I'm going to spoil something from it now. Like if he had announced Doctor and Donna face doppelgangers of themselves on a spaceship, that would be a ruiner. You just ruined it. Yeah. And maybe I just ruined it for somebody, but that's not my fault. You were warned.
The biggest example of this happening is when they just flat out revealed, oh yeah, the Mondasian Cybermen are coming back for Series 10's finale. Oh, and also John Sims the Master in a trailer.
Oh, did they do that? I didn't see the trailer. No. I don't usually watch them, so I'm glad I missed that. I would have been really disappointed.
I saw both, and I'm like, oh, really? Come on, these are like two big things, and you just spoiled them. The Mondasian Cybermen were like,
that's a big one.
the Cybermen were like a little like promo press shot for it. Like here they are, they're back for Pete's last season, and then the Master was in a trailer. I think they did it. I think it was Comic-Con. It was somewhere.
No.
Wasn't it?
At the end of the pilot.
They did like a season.
This season on Doctor Who. So you made the right choice to turn that off, Landry, because that all. Sadly, there's two ways of looking at it. I hate that it spoils a genuine good surprise for me, but the reason why they make these trailers is because they know that they can get people back to see John Sims as the Master.
They have to do it. But that's a problem of the audience hurting. That's the audience hurting themselves. With the audience refusing to participate unless things are actually broken for them, then they watch and they complain like, "Oh, I knew everything that was going to happen in this episode." Well, of course you did. You insisted on it. But they won't watch it unless they know everything.
And look who it is.
Hello, Landry.
Jimmy is in the building.
Oh my God.
He exists. This is our special guest for Jimmy.
What's up, guys?
It's the Jimmy.
You're just in time. I got one thing to talk about, and then we're talking about Wild Blue Yonder.
Okay.
All right. Well, last thing of news is that Jodie Whittaker's coming to Australia, baby.
That's personal news.
That's personal news, yeah. That's personal news. She's coming to her first ever Supernova convention at Melbourne and Gold Coast in April. Sundays only. She's only going to be for one of the 2 days. I will 100% go just to meet her.
Good. Ask her to be on the podcast.
I'll do a special guys, do you want to? We'll push it back to a Saturday, Sunday.
No, get her to record a video and say, make sure to click below and subscribe to the official Madmen with the Box YouTube channel.
That would be fantastic.
That'd be fun. But
I would pay. Does she have a cameo? I don't
think she has a cameo.
Oh my God! I don't know if they do. If they'll do endorsements and cameos.
Wait. Sylvester McCoy has a cameo.
Then let's get it.
Okay, there's two ways of looking at it. There's endorsement, but he's not endorsing. He's simply saying, make sure to at the end.
He does have a cameo.
Oh my good God! We need to get together.
It's almost $200 though. Damn it!
I got a job.
So do I. Wait, that's like $50 between the four of us.
Exactly.
That's
McCoy
less than like a few visits. Yeah.
Just to sub.
Listen, I will pay $50 for that.
Oh my good God! I'm like too.
I do it.
Okay, we'll talk about this.
We'll table this discussion. We're going to have this discussion later.
I'll see if there's any other Doctor Who actors as well.
We need all of them.
All of them, and it just rotates. I think you can actually add that.
No. I can edit a video that's just every word is a new Doctor. Don't forget to click below.
This is a better one. Keeping on this topic of like Doctor Who actors on cameo, Jimmy would love this. We could get Colin Baker.
Oh my good God!
He is so nice. He is so nice.
He's such.
We could get one of the Davroses, Terry Malloy.
Okay. Sure.
What's up, Eric Breen?
What about Nick Briggs? Can I get him to scream as a Dalek and say
no? Or Jimmy, we can get Rachel Talalay.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, she's she's okay.
That's
all right.
That's a choice.
All right, we'll talk about this later. We're now done with the news section. We are now on to our discussion of Wild Blue Yonder, the second episode of the 60th anniversary specials, starring David Tennant and Catherine Tate as the 14th Doctor and Donna Noble, respectively. So, Landry, what do you think of Wild Blue Yonder?
I mean, it was classic Doctor Who. and not just classic 2009 or whatever, but it felt very, I don't know, like the basic premise could have been yanked out of the 80s or any other era of Doctor Who. It was very by the numbers, basic. I enjoyed it. Short version, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I know that there were some complaints about the special effects, but I have to, in all fairness, while I love the special effects, I have to concede that I'm colorblind, and because of that, my nuance of ability to perceive flaws in things like green borders and other things is not very good. I don't care about the quality of level of effects in Doctor Who, and never have. I've been through some bad effects in Doctor Who, and it didn't matter to me then. You know, like, I've watched every era. It was so. If the effects were bad, it didn't bother me. I loved the concept. I love I mean, it's David Tennant and Catherine Tate. Is that really all I needed to say? It's David Tennant and Catherine Tate. So it's going to be good. What more does anyone need to say about it? Like, that's it. Boom. Great. You're not allowed to say have all the opinions.
You forgot to mention it's David Tennant and Catherine Tate ×2.
Double times.
2 Catherine Tates.
I mean, seriously. Like, you don't get more Catherine Tate than 2 Catherine Tates. It was, I mean, the little, like, just when they stand at their feet in the little car, the slow-moving robot, the long-range plan, the learning aliens. For those who didn't see it, why are you listening? You made bad life choices. It's, you know, I did not catch immediately that they were doppelgangers. I watched it with other people, and they all picked up on it. They're faster than me, I suppose. Yeah, no. Of course, I had an instant flashback when they're nowhere. It's nothing, and I started thinking of what's it called? The Second Doctor episode with the Master of Fiction.
The Mind Robber.
Yeah, Mind Robber, and the first episode where they're just in the white zone and they're in nothing.
Yeah.
Except the things that they kind of pull out from their own minds.
Did anyone else pick up on like okay, first off, Rachel? This was Tom Kingsley, right?
Tom Kingsley, yeah.
Dude, when there was absolutely nothing, and it was like the wide shot of the spaceship with the drone. First off, that's one of the greatest things we've ever seen in this show. Also, it had a hint of Event Horizon.
It did look a little bit like Event Horizon.
I thought of Red Dwarf.
It looked like it a little bit.
Yeah,
some people like Event Horizon, some are like, Red Dwarf.
The opening credits, Red Dwarf with the ship. It just keeps going.
So the thing about the special effects is what they really needed to do, instead of making it this long, white, bright tunnel, they could have darkened it just a little bit, and it would have looked far smoother.
Yep.
The thing is, it's just so bright, and so you can perceive how CGI it is, because the whole tube is CGI. But I don't know what they did to the cart to make it look so cartoonish when it comes out.
Oh my god!
Because
it never occurred to me the whole place had to be CGI, and yet I believed the environment. I can imagine the acting in that.
Yeah.
The performance they gave when it was all freaking blue screen.
Green.
In the tunnel, they had actual sets for when they were in the cockpit area in the room.
Sure, but tunnel scenes, they're great in those tunnel scenes.
Yeah, they are. No, it absolutely is. I also
the only problem with it was, again, this is such a small nitpick. If you want to make it feel entirely abandoned, Pixel's right. Make it darker. The tunnels. If the whole ship was somewhat kind of dark, running on power supply, like backup power supply, where it was like just a little darker, it would have made it feel more scary, and you would have felt it. You would have felt it more like You go from like the ships, the tunnels, and all the other rooms are dark. But when you go to that one, there's just that giant hall that's extremely bright. What?
But that was the point. When they go out there, they aren't scared. They're like, "Wow!"
Because they don't know. They don't know it's abandoned, and I think it would telegraph that part because they're supposed to. At first, they're like, "Well, we're on a spaceship. We're the people." There's a person. If it looked abandoned, then it would give us a tell, and I think it would break away that little bit of suspension you get.
I personally loved everything about this from the beginning of just going to 1666 and Isaac Newton's there, and the mavity of it all is astounding.
They need to keep that as a running joke. They have to keep
for the
that
rest of Doctor Who.
The rest of Doctor Who is just mavity now.
I did.
The Doctor doesn't even go back to correct it. It's just mavity.
It's mavity.
I didn't like it. I didn't like that part.
It was funny.
No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It was good to set up like that joke was entirely there just to like give you a little bit of like a recap without giving you like flashbacks like American TV. This is just like a small recap of like telling you how he's got a time machine so he can be mad at me for eternity. Oh, she spilled the it was just like a recap thing, which I didn't have a problem with. But the mavity, whatever, man.
It's funny.
It was funny. I liked it, but like if they continue it throughout the series, is when like it's.
I don't want it continued throughout the series. I want it continued throughout the entire history of Doctor Who. I want them to re-edit all previous episodes so they all say mavity. And even the original, like if we find a second Doctor reel that mentions gravity, they edited that one too. It's mavity now, man.
Release the mavity cut.
Do you understand the mavity of this situation, dear boy?
Yeah, that's the world we live in now, man. Get with it, Jimmy. Or should I say Mimi?
Mimi.
All right.
It does take a truly great turn. I watched this twice because that's what I just do now. I just watch all these episodes twice.
I watched it like I think 4 times this week.
And I go into it. The CGI is the only like little problem, but it's not anything. It's easily just you can shrug it off. There are people online that'll just go ahead. Oh, Isaac Newton's half Indian. I don't care. He was great. That whole bit was great, and then the people making because Tennant makes he was hot, wasn't he? Oh, is that who I am now? It's a line, and people are whining and bitching about it. And
not only that, that's something he would say. Oh, is that who I am now? Like it's just brilliant.
Have you not watched Doctor Who?
It's the Mixel, Mriss, Mimi, and Mandry. So.
Yes.
Madmen and a Mox.
Well, for me, I loved this episode. It was so damn good. I just love when it's just two characters together. They're just exploring just stuff about themselves, and it's just this just single threat, just this threat that they just kind of just don't understand. It's just there, but it's also learning, and for this one, it's copying them. So you can also have them do other roles, and they're great as also villains. I mean, we've already seen David portray villains before. Kilgrave, he's great as Kilgrave. But
fantastic.
Yes,
I really liked subtle evil that he gives as the not Doctor. Like when he does that little like smirk, that like really like sinister smirk. It's like yes,
it's
right. So good.
Things keep existing.
I see. Things still exist when they're.
It was so great. It's so like chills good. Every single time.
But then also David's performance as the Doctor, particularly the flux scene, where we get a mention of that, and it's something that never didn't happen in Jodie's era because it was something that was just brushed aside, like how the Doctor really felt about that. Because technically, the flux is because of the Doctor. He may not have caused it, but it
was caused for him.
Yeah.
That's what makes me mad. I'm mad at RTD for making me care about the flux. How dare you, sir?
I'm mad at RTD for mentioning the flux at all. I'm mad about the flux still. I'm maybe madder than I've ever been about the flux. This is my one criticism.
No. You should be happy he mentioned it. So now we're actually going to get a resolution. And guess what?
I don't care. I don't care. I don't need a resolution. I needed it gone. And I'm mad about it because we finally had a chance to not have some kind of like guilt-ridden PTSD David Tennant Doctor. Because that's what we got with the 10th Doctor. And the 14th Doctor is now all of those things again. Even though Matt Smith had grown beyond it. The 12th Doctor galloped raised back. But no, now that we get a chance for David Tennant to be not this like guilt-ridden PTSD Doctor that's all underneath the surface of pain and whatever, and we don't get it. We don't get it because of the flux.
Here's the thing.
Hold up. No. I'm going to do what Bob Iger does and Disney does when talking about failed MCU movies, like blaming it on COVID. We can blame this on Chris Chibnall. Just go back a few years because the flux is on him. That's on him.
It is.
So the thing is, though, I still don't feel everything about David's performance, even in that scene, even after when he's just going ahead and he's kicking it, he's having his emotional moment to collect himself. He is still far more grown up than 10 was. 10 was angry and just sassy from all the Time War stuff. He doesn't have that weight anymore. He's still got things, but it's not weighing him down. He's still a grown-up Doctor.
A good comparison is how he responds to Donna when she is scared or worried. In Stolen Earth, when they reach the Medusa Cascade, but they don't find the planets there, it's like, this is it. This is where the signal stops, and like Donna's actually like worried, like, what are we going to do? Like, my family and everyone on Earth is gone. Like, she's completely worried, but he's just like out of it. He's just standing there blank. Whereas she's scared that she could be trapped here, and he straight up goes to console her. Like, grabs her hand, kisses her, make sure like, I will get you out of here. No,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong, and it is nice. And I'm not saying that this Doctor hasn't evolved, or that his performance is bad, or that But I just
you didn't want to think about the flux.
There's lots of things they dropped in Doctor Who. Russell T Davies didn't feel compelled to deal with the Doctor being half human. We never had to deal. They didn't feel compelled to deal with the Doctor, the 7th Doctor, being more than a Time Lord. It's not like this stuff hasn't happened before, right? This whole, there's something, the Doctor is something else. Every time it's happened, they've wisely swept it under the rug. And go, no, it's fine. But not this time. No, this time it's canon.
You know what? You guys were talking about this, and I'm scrolling through Twitter, and it just so happens to pop up. Some guy commented exactly what Landry said. Can you share the screen, please?
I can't see it. I can't look at the video. What
this guy, Joey, he said, "Yeah, these two scenes are well acted, but we're two episodes in RTD2, and we're already going back to Time War angst, Doctor."
I don't see it as that. I don't see it as that.
It's the same angst.
It's a different angst. It's a different.
Okay,
angst.
but it codes the same. How about a David Tennant without angst? Wouldn't that be interesting?
But he is with. He's
we
worried.
We kind of got that. We kind of got that in season 4.
No, we did not. No,
until very later episodes, the first half of that season, yeah, we really didn't.
There's always been some where he doesn't display it, and I'm sure. And again, listen, David Tennant does angst better than almost anyone. He's brilliant. Is not a critique of his performance, and it's not even a critique of the writing because I think it's all written well. It's just we had an opportunity to have him be a much different version of the Tenant Doctor without that baggage. But the Time Lords are dead again. They're dead again. How many times do they have to die?
Hey,
that's why he brushes over that. He's brushing over that, and I think that's one of the things about the scene. The Doctor runs and runs and runs and runs. He's being pretty much just tested by this not Donna, this not things. We are not things. I love that. By this not Donna about, can you go home, Gallifrey? And that got complicated. Everything gets complicated, and I don't like the Flux. I don't like any of the eras of Chibnall at all. But I somehow, in this scene, addressing one of the worst parts of Doctor Who history, still feel it. It's well written. It's dealt with well, better than it was executed. And I don't know. I enjoyed it.
You know what's weird? I had this thought the other day. I find don't get me wrong. I'm loving what RTD's doing, but how come the trailer for the 3 specials has more weight to it than the 3 episodes we got? Well, 2 episodes we got so far. The trailer's better so far than the first 2 episodes combined.
You're insane.
Oh, the second one's fantastic, but
well, that's because there's no. Wild Blue Yonder was the best kept secret of these specials, and everybody thought it was for some reason, like something specific. No, it was just to keep it secret.
Everyone's like, oh, this is going to be multi-Doctor. Matt Smith.
I wasn't even bringing that up.
Definitely coming back.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the trailer for the specials are there's more weight behind the trailers than there are behind these episodes.
I think we have to see what happens in the 3rd episode and judge all 3 episodes as a whole versus the trailer to make that assessment. But that said, I don't think they could have spoiled much. There's not much you can put in the trailer from the 2nd episode without spoiling it. It's just the 2 actors. There's no one else in this one, except the stinger at the end, which I don't count.
That is true, but that is fair. That is fair. I actually agree. And he did change the name to Wild Blue Yonder because the original name would have given it away, and now I want to know what the original name was going to be.
Dr. Donna Doctor? I don't know.
Maybe.
But speaking of the end, we get our final scene with Bernard Cribbins as Wilf. Oh, I loved it. It was so happy and so sad to see Wilf one last time.
Oh, I loved seeing him. Funny, I was just watching some scenes of him from the Peter Cushing movie. I have no interest in seeing them go back to modern day England. I want them traveling the galaxy for 6 more episodes, and 3 episodes wasn't enough for this. It's not going to be enough. It needed proper length of time to breathe.
You know what's weird? It's that I got instantly sucked into David Tennant and Catherine Tate back. I forgot all about the baggage from before, all of any troubles. It felt like I'm just watching great Doctor Who again. And that all got cut short when I remembered, shit, David Tennant's gonna be regenerating in 4 days.
Well, that's something we were talking about last week. What if you didn't know that? What if you didn't know that and it just happened?
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, it was. I lived in an era where that happened and you didn't know. It's like, oh my god. I missed not to bring that up every freaking week, but it is something. I actually didn't know it was only going to be 3 episodes until I heard it from you guys on the podcast because I avoid all news. But
you would have not known.
I wouldn't have known because I really work hard to avoid stuff. But because your guys' company is so great, I accept ruining the episodes for myself. It's just not going to be enough. Because
from what we're hearing,
good.
there could be a split regeneration, so where the David Tennant could still be alive, traveling the stars, and get his happy ending with Donna, while Shudigawa is going to be taking over. Blah blah blah.
They can't do it. They can't do it.
So the thing is,
saying the word "can't" in Doctor Who is just
I can say the word "can't." I'll tell you what.
You can't say "can't" in Doctor Who. Anything's possible, dude.
The thing that came out and got attached to pretty much all of the other leaks was the idea of bioregeneration. So David Tennant, instead of just straight up regenerating into Shooty, the 15th Doctor, they will split. The 15th Doctor will come out and David will still be there, and it will be two of them, and Shooty is going to get a duplicate TARDIS for beating the Toymaker or something.
Here's why you can't do it.
You can't.
And I mean it from a writing perspective, a storytelling perspective, not obviously the rules of it. You can make up whatever rules you want. But and I'm talking specifically about the Doctor and Donna traveling together. Donna can't leave her family. They've established 2 feet of ties. She has to go back. This has got to be a short-term temporary tip, or it becomes sad.
The theory also, or not the theory, the supposed leak is that the Doctor, the 14th Doctor, the Edge Doctor, as some call him, he is going to be sticking on Earth for a while instead of traveling. Which he goes and lives with Donna and her family, and then we just have a repeat of what happened when he split off with Rose. Yeah.
That could happen with, he could be the stranded Doctor.
No.
Like 8
Listen, if they had him,
the problem is, why would he?
He goes back to the Pertwee era style Doctor, and he's working with UNIT, and the new Doctor comes in, and we've got the 2 of them together on multiple episodes. Sure, I could enjoy that, but in a long-term solution, I don't think it works. That would be the only way it could work for me. If both of them are Doctors concurrently. Otherwise, it's just sad or repetitive.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of this series at all.
And also, from a writing perspective, it's just RTD reusing Metacrisis. That'd be lazy.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's the repetitive part. It would just be what happened with Rose if he just stays with Donna. It's like, what, every time the Doctor doesn't want to leave a companion, he splits off? That's weird.
I'd feel if I was Yaz, I'd feel really bad.
I wonder.
I think Yaz should figure out the Doctor's just not that into her.
Yeah, I wonder why. So we've had 2 specials. We have one more that should explain why his old face came back. Obviously, the first episode hints at there's something more behind this. But in every little bit that we get that's teased the Toymaker, it doesn't feel like he's the reason. A lot of theories were saying that the Toymaker, that this is going to be a storytelling way to talk about old fans who just want to keep things the same and then branching off into a new era. I don't think it's that. I don't think the Toymaker's involved. It's something else. And RTD is teasing that not next week, this Saturday, we're going to get a big explosive new lore that'll
canon shattering,
world shaking, canon shattering lore. I don't know.
We are going to get the Timeless Child too.
Shut up. Shut your mustache.
Hang on.
Electric Boogaloo.
Canon. Let's see. Canon shattering and Mel's going to be in it. We're going to get the definitive Mel origin.
Well, isn't this where we get back to the 7th Doctor not being just another Time Lord?
Yeah.
We're going to get the Ronnie.
No.
Never liked the Ronnie. Anyway, this is just such a great episode to focus on the Wild Blue Yonder. A lot of people are saying that they wish that because it's 60th anniversary, yet it's not really feeling. This is a really great episode of Doctor Who, a spectacular episode of Doctor Who. It has callbacks like the Hads. There was something else that stood out. I can't recall what it is. To go ahead and just little
No, keep going. Sorry.
Little nods, but we've had 2 specials, and other than one being a comic adaptation and a Hads mention, it doesn't really feel like these are 2 specials celebrating 60 years of Doctor Who. I can kind of see that, but I can't be upset because we haven't had a good Doctor Who in a long time. So I'm just happy to have this.
Chris, did you give your review?
Yeah, I did. I really enjoyed this episode. I'm fine. I'm fine with it not living up to the expectations of being a 60th anniversary. I love bottle episodes like these, and it's great. I think just everyone is just expecting, because it's an anniversary, it has to be like multi-doctor. It's like we just literally technically 2 episodes ago had a multi-doctor story. So
did we?
Technically, Power of the Doctor.
Centennial special. Yeah.
Centenary.
The centenary. Yeah.
Which one was this? What are you talking about?
Jody's last.
Jody. Okay. Right. I suppose that's true.
It's not forgettable. It's not good. It's really.
If you guys think about it, real quick.
I genuinely forgot about it.
So we haven't even talked about like the viewings, the ratings. No, this is crazy. Because Jodie Whittaker got down to 3.2
lower,
million?
2 something.
Lower. Oh, that's right, 2.95.
If not lower, but yeah, it was low.
Yeah, so David Tennant, his first episode got 5.8 million. But that was just the overnight figures. How many people watched it throughout the week? It got up to 7.6.
Yep.
We're coming back, baby. We're back.
It's good.
It's good. And I've seen people be like, "Oh, well, that's not too big." Like, remember what it was like back then? It's like, yeah, the climate
Matt Smith had 7.
And TV shows are different compared to 2005.
Jodie Whittaker's first episode had 10.
Yeah,
11.
And that was like
when
streaming was at its like probably its highest, like Netflix and all that.
Well, I mean, just in the last 5 years, people engage less and less with the broadcast episodes. Admittedly, that said, I don't know. I think I'd be curious what the U.S. figures are, but. You expect it to drop about 500,000 with every episode. I just don't know, like, that Doctor Who, like I don't know that the excitement is there. David Tennant is almost as old as Capaldi was when he became the Doctor.
Oh, I don't want to hear that.
And just to make it a little more bone chilling for you. Almost as much time has passed since David Tennant became the Doctor. So remember when David Tennant met Peter Davison in Time Crash?
Yeah.
The age difference. David Tennant has gone from being the age he was there to almost the age that Peter Davison was in that episode.
Can we stop talking about that?
Oh, no, I definitely can't.
He's not on the edge of death, Jimmy.
I'm not saying he's on the edge of death, but does he engage with a 10 to 12-year-old audience that wants something young and exciting? I'm not saying I agree with them. Peter Capaldi is still probably my favorite Doctor, but we know how people reacted to an old Doctor then. They did not react well.
Well, real quick, you said 500,000 dropped. Well, per episode. This one went from. It was 5.8 overnight to this week's episode. I think it was like 5.1.
I saw 4.8.
So about 700,000.
It was still 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 500 is an average, and that average seems to be retaining.
It's simply I think that these specials are not going to get anyone who hasn't watched Doctor Who before into Doctor Who. I don't. That's what the new era is supposed to be doing.
Is it bringing them back,
it did.
though?
It's bringing it back? I mean, if it's at 5 million, we're already at an increase. And if we're
at an increase, but those numbers weren't considered good, as we were talking about. They didn't used to be good. Not to be negative about it,
but it's like Chris said. This is a whole new world because we have streaming. Nobody's watching it as soon as it comes out, except for people like us that are obsessed.
Granted, it'll be a week before we usually. Wait, do we have it for the first episode?
Yeah, it was 7. I think it was 7.6.
So the total is 7.6.
Early Moffat.
Yeah, that's Matt Smith numbers.
Matt Smith numbers.
But
so for the week, we've gone up to Matt Smith numbers. But how many of that was us just rewatching it?
I don't know if they count. Yeah, I think they do. I think they count by how many times they count interfaces. I could be wrong, though. I don't know.
But this is kind of bringing in a new audience. So I have a friend who does comedy with me. He came over. We hung out. I showed him the first episode. He was raised in Idaho, so obviously you can tell how he felt about it. Right? You know how he felt about the first episode with the message or whatever the hell people are saying. But...
Well, we would have known what you were saying if you were here.
Oh, yeah, I'll talk about that later. But he did say at the end of the first episode, he said, it's so weird because I want to not like it, but because of how much all the stuff, like the message and whatever, is involved in it, that comes back at the end and as actually a part of the solution that actually makes it mean something, I can't hate it because I know the writing's good. So I will watch the next episode. I was like, cool. He came over for the next episode. Oh, man, he was like over the moon with how good this one was. So even when like he was talking shit about American TV, he was like, in American TV, they would just throw it in and it would have no meaning. This one actually has meaning. I was like, all right, yeah. But it is, RCD's such a good writer, no matter what he does, even people like him are kind of getting attracted to the writing and how good it is. So I think give him with Ncuti Gatwa and like his season, he's going to have a 8 episodes? 8 episodes?
Isn't it?
I think
8 episodes and one special every year, baby.
So now he's getting a full season rather than just 3 episodes to do something. People are going to be attracted to it more now. So I think this is just we should wait until the end of Ncuti Gatwa's first season to see how the numbers are.
I don't know. I'm not in it for the numbers game. I'm in it because I love Doctor Who.
No, you should like the numbers because you get to see how well the show's doing.
I don't want anyone else watching the show. It's just for me, Jimmy.
Just for me, you know.
Gatekeep our hobbies, okay?
I'm not. All right.
I'm not gatekeeping. I'm just. I was saying to someone else.
I've gotten a friend into Doctor Who. They've started with Christopher Eccleston. They're on their. I think they've just finished series 3.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So I'm like, hey, you know what you should watch? And I just gave him a copy of the Doctor Who movie.
Oh, don't do that.
No, I'm like, hey, you need to see Paul McGann and see what we kind of missed out on. You got to see how much we love him.
Yeah, Paul McGann. I'm hearing rumors that he's going to have his own series.
Bullet by that movie failing. Okay. The movie itself has good promise. There's good things in it. We dodged a massive bullet because if that succeeded, the American Fox Doctor Who would have destroyed any chance of this series surviving.
Hey, you know who didn't dodge a massive bullet? Sylvester McCoy.
That was a lot of bullets. The only
he couldn't even dodge one.
to just be shot by a flood of bullets in an alley.
That's just the most American thing that could happen.
It's hilarious.
Welcome to America. We beat you twice.
And we're going to do it again.
Anyway.
Ratings?
Our ratings for WoW Blue Yonder, starting with Landry.
Landry different.
That's very insightful, Landry.
I kind of agree. All right, while we wait for Landry to return, if there's technical issues,
Landry!
Jimmy, Shooty got was mustache. You're getting another restraining order.
Hey, my man's got class.
Hello.
Hello,
there we go.
Landry.
Landry's back.
I take it back, Jimmy. Landry, ratings.
Oh, okay. So I was saying I'm going to revert to type and give it 2 ratings.
Yes.
Because this is what I do. I'm giving it. I'm going to give it all the way up to a 9 for a really great 2009 or whatever episode of Doctor Who. It is a really wonderful. It is the peak Doctor Who. My favorite season, probably season 4. Getting extra episodes of season 4 that it's getting lost tracks, bonus album, that were unearthed or something. This is not what I'm looking for 2023. I'm looking forward to new Doctor Who. I think that it's regressive. Is it excellent? Yes, but it's also 2023, and I think we need to start seeing some 2023 happen. I'm going to be all contrarian like that. So I'm giving it a 6 on that level.
Wow, no, Landry, that's garbage. I'm sorry.
I know it's an unpopular. It's an unpopular take.
Start doing that with Shooting season because this is an anniversary. Come on, man.
But that's why I gave it 2. That's why I gave it 2, because if we're accepting that it is intentionally regressive, and this is a moment in time that isn't going to be forever, it stays at the 9. But if this is all we get, is that it just is 2009 all over again, it's not 2009 anymore. I want 2023 episodes.
Okay. Jimmy?
I'm a little pissed off. Landry, you just don't like good things.
No, he likes it.
He gave it a 9.
He gave it a 9.
He
just wants to be fussy.
It's excellent.
He's just upset about the flux.
It's excellent. I am. It's excellent. I'm not saying it isn't excellent, but it's the same stuff we were getting in 2009 that was also excellent. But it's not the same world anymore. I
disagree.
Doctor Who to evolve.
Modern. I think this is
What?
modern. You look at Capaldi's episodes. Look at Capaldi's episodes, and then look at this and tell me it's not modern.
Landry is right. Landry is right in a way that this does feel like season 4B.
Back to formula.
So it's back to formula, but at the same time, it's such a. This is
fantastic formula.
It's a fantastic formula, but it's also different in the way that this is like Midnight evolved. This is Midnight evolved, essentially.
I mean, it is. If you look at this against the lens of season 4, it would be one of the best episodes of season 4. Better than last week's for me. Although the comics adaptation won a lot of points, and the faithful adaptations of the designs won a lot of points. It is just very good. I'm ready for something new. I'm not on board, but they're not doing more than 3 episodes. I'm a contrarian. I want 8 episodes of this, but I want it to be more different than it was. I want Tennant to be a different Doctor. I want more of how they've changed than feeling like just the same. Or just go ahead and set these episodes back then.
I can see that, but I also see it as different because this is. I mean, I see your points, but I also disagree with your points.
Well, I knew you would. Okay.
Jimmy, we need your numbers.
It's a 9. I consider this a modern classic. We are going to watch this episode for years and years and years, like Midnight, like Impossible Planet Satan Pit, like any other horror episode that's just fantastic, like Blink. I don't think it's on the same par as Blink, but like I think it's going to be one of those that's going to go down as a fantastic episode that we will rewatch over and over again.
My
So
arms are too long.
By the way, if you didn't say that, if those non-things didn't say my arms are too long, it wouldn't have been as scary. But you gave them something. Right. You gave them something that if you hear it now, you will have shivers down your spine.
Oh, 100%. Agreed. 1,000% agreed. Brilliant line.
Yeah.
It
resonates excellently.
And also how they react to it. Because the doctor is just like, yeah, okay. And Donna's like, yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
They just don't know. If to them, it's not really a particularly weird thing, but for us, we know it is because we're catching on that it's not them, and it's something else. Pixel.
I think that this is also. What did anybody remember? What I ranked the Star Beast?
I think you gave it an 8 or 7.5.
Oh, you're stupid. It's not an
8. I think I gave it an 8.5.
I know I gave it an 8. I went down. I went to 8.
Wasn't Landry a 9? I was 8.5. You were 8.
Last week I was a 9.
9.
I was definitely 8.
Yeah, so I was in the middle.
No.
I think.
No.
Yes. So this one,
it's a 7 at max.
Okay,
listen.
You? One, Jimmy, you weren't here. You don't understand the context. You missed all the nuance. You would be convinced. Jimmy of last week would have agreed with us. I can't speak to who you are now, who you have become.
I've become the most sexy thing in the entire universe.
I gave it a 9 last week because of the incredibly faithful design work of seeing David Gibbons' artwork come to life, of seeing them honor the credits of the creators of the comic, to pay the creators of the comic money where Titan Publishing did not. It got bumped up for me on a resonance level just because they spent so much time and energy doing the right thing, and so often that doesn't happen in publishing or in Hollywood or whatever this is in England. I don't know what they have.
All right, I give it a 9 for that because I thought that was cool too. But now, what do you rank it as an actual episode?
You want my 2 reviews, Jimmy?
Yeah, because that one deserves it.
Okay. Without that, if this is a wholly original, I probably would have given it like a 7.5.
Yeah, see, I can agree with that.
7.5 to 8. Because thinking about it on its own, without
max, it does not.
We have to face the fact that this that episode was better than any episode in the previous 5 years. 5 years.
Yeah.
5.
Not true.
Years. Yes.
Not true.
Yes, true.
No,
yes.
the War of the Centaurans is the best modern Centauran story ever.
You are a fool, Jimmy. War of the Centaurans better than the Star Beast. I came because I wanted to ride a horse. Funny, haha.
I love that line. Listen, those Centaurans are excellent. There's no doubt there.
Still.
But,
anyway.
And also making it a war story. Like having them be in the middle of a battle where they took over Russia and now it's Centaur. Yeah, that's true to Centaurans. They would do shit like that.
Yeah, it could have been done in a way that was, interesting.
It was, dude. Centaurans would do this, especially because they invaded Gallifrey.
But the best part of that episode was the fact that Dan beat a Centauran with a walk. It wasn't because they made Russia Centaur.
No.
That is why that episode's entertaining, because Dan's there. Dan is the man, and that
I
is
think
why.
if we go back to the videos, the live streams, we would see that you actually liked the episode.
Yeah, but just like Landry, who rated the Star Beast 9 last week, he's saying that the episode's actually more of a 7.5.
Well,
Hey,
I believe last week I gave a caveat that that I was influenced by those factors, though.
But
I didn't give 2 reviews, but I did admit that I was influenced by those factors.
Listen, Pixel of 3 years ago or 2 years ago is a different Pixel from now, who can recognize, who is barely trying to struggle and hold on to Doctor Who. Okay?
I think the old Pixel and the new Pixel should switch places.
No.
Because right now, Pixel, your arms are too long.
Oh, that's creepy.
No, my fingers are too long, but that's a different conversation. This is a 9. I think maybe it's actually an 8.5. Thinking about the episode, it reminds me of Midnight in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's got that kind of that bottle feel. But
it's Midnight meets Rebel Flesh.
No. The only reason you say that
means it's like doppelgangers.
Doppelgangers, yeah. That's like there are other examples of doppelgangers in Doctor Who, but I think that this is a very solid adventure. This is Doctor Who's back, baby. It's neat in a lot of ways. The fact that it was just kept as a surprise just because is very nice. We didn't know what to expect. But Jimbo dying is unacceptable. So 8.5. He could have had 3 box sets on Big Finish. But no, he had to die.
Dude,
he had one job and he did it, okay?
He did it. And that was great too. The whole explanation of why everything is the way it is. Why it's slowly shifting with each number we learn, getting counted down. All of that is brilliant. It's excellent. Do I think it's exceptional? Maybe edging on that. That's why it's an 8.5, not a straight 9.
Not only that, though, but like, dude, the craftsmanship on it, it's a giant mobile puppet. That is so
nice.
Cool.
That's very nice.
I want like an actual like action figure of that, dude. That's so cool.
Jimbo. I love the design. It's really nice.
I don't think this was... Yeah, Chris is up next.
Yep, I'm up next. I am going to join the team of 9s.
Okay.
I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. Absolutely loved it. I loved everything about this. I don't care that it's not really a 60th anniversary special. Just by itself, it's just a fantastic episode. David's great as the Doctor, as the not Doctor. Catherine's great as Donna and the not Donna. Amazing performances by both of them. Really enjoyed the story. And since, one half of them were in the chat, the Connor from 50%, I'm going to agree with the other half of 50%, Aiden, in saying that this is probably where Russell is at his best, doing episodes like this.
I want an entire season of just horror episodes.
Ooh, interesting.
Can you imagine back-to-back horror episode? Like, you get this, you get the Weeping Angels, you get the Impossible Planet, the Beast creature, you get the Vashta Nerada. Dude, just back-to-back-to-back, dude.
Oh, my mic got muted. I was saying that's what we got with Tennant's first season was back-to-back horror.
Oh my God.
No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. His first episodes, we get it's zombies. Then it's vampires. It's the Cybermen are standing in for Frankenstein. Well, I'm not going in order, but we get Frankenstein monster with the Cybermen. We get werewolves. We get vampires. We get zombies. We get the devil. It's all horror.
Those aren't zombies.
No, it wasn't.
They were zombies. They were
not zombies.
The what?
They were
Sticker X are not zombies.
Wait, no. I'm not talking about
the
Sticker X. I'm talking about the hospital.
New Earth.
Yeah,
oh,
New Earth.
okay, yeah, we got zombies on New Earth, yeah.
Oh no, we got like blood magic in. If you're going with that one, that's like straight up voodoo.
Okay. There's
Yep.
a little bit
It's
of that.
it's all horror.
You're
Which is
wrong.
when Doctor
You're
Who
wrong.
is at its best. Okay, where am I wrong?
You're wrong because it wasn't aesthetically a horror episode. They used horror creatures. They weren't horror episodes like this.
There
where
were
they set
horror
the ambiance.
themes. There were horror themes.
Yeah, but they didn't set the ambiance with it.
I mean, I thought that I don't know. I thought that the
Impossible Planet for sure.
The werewolf one definitely horror.
That one can be, yeah.
Okay, the vampires as they're creeping around the school in the middle of the night with night looking for things that are drinking blood. I thought those had the elements. The crowd of zombie like beings hurting on them that can give them a plague just by touching them. That's pretty much horror.
Girl,
The Cybermen. Frankenstein has always been a science fiction take on horror. So people getting, their bodies chopped up and put into robots. That's horror.
Okay,
especially when they break open the one.
Ever is horror.
Love and Monsters is definitely horror.
Landry, you see what I'm saying though? Like,
I don't agree because this
is horror.
You should know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying. I'm saying that they're horror because they're literally showing us versions of classic horror in these things with a sci-fi element, but they're still fundamentally horror stories. Yeah. A lot of Doctor Who is horror. There's quite a bit of horror in Doctor Who. It's always been this beautiful blend of sci-fi and horror. And you're right. Sometimes the episodes like The Weeping Angels or this one, the horror element is higher or lower, but it's almost always, if you're asking, is it usually present? Yes. Yes, absolutely. As opposed to, say, Star Trek. You could go seasons without anything that resembles horror.
He's definitely got a point.
Yeah, I get what he's saying, but what I'm saying is I want an entire season of heightened up horror, is what Landry's saying. You guys know exactly what I meant. And then Landry comes in, is brainwashing all of you. Yo, stop the steal, right?
Oh, he's got a point.
Listen,
I never thought about it that. I'm not going to lie. I've never thought about it that way because a lot of those episodes, even Tooth and Claw, like the way that they laugh off. Are you saying that the royal family is actually all werewolves? Well, it's goofy. There's a lot of tonal parts that are goofy, but Landry's absolutely right. Even Idiot's Lantern, all of it has horror elements.
Dude, every episode could be considered horror in the history of Doctor Who.
I don't agree. Earthshock. Earthshock doesn't.
No.
Well,
or most of the Third Doctor, you don't see a lot of horror. Some of it, but then compare it to the Fourth Doctor era. I think which producer is it? When you get like Fang Rock, stuff like the Crinoid episode. There's an era of there where you go, oh god, they're just doing horror. They did a great run on the Fourth Doctor that felt like horror more than anything. And then, but then they stop. And then when they get to the Rebos operation and things, you go straight sci-fi with that. There's very little horror in any of that.
Yeah, he's
all right. Landry,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
I do. I just think I think there's. I agree that there are episodes that code the horror more, like when the characters take the horror more seriously, when it feels more tense. I just think that Doctor Who has a lot of that. So it's kind of hard for me to separate it the way you are. The line blurs more for me maybe than for you. There are some episodes that are very strongly horror more than others, granted. Even when it's a flat out horror monster like the werewolf, they don't play it as much as horror, even though it is
I'm
horror.
saying this for a reason, though. I'm saying it because I think Doctor Who works better when it's horror, like extreme horror, like we got this past week, because it works better. All the memorable episodes, well, not all of them, but most of the memorable episodes from Doctor Who, the best ones are horror. Satan Pit and Possible
Best ones are written by Stephen Moffat.
Turn Left. Not true. Turn Left was written by RCD. Turn Left. Then you got Blink. Then you also.
Do you think Turn Left codes horror?
It does not.
Oh,
code
for
horror.
sure.
No. It's
seeing
alternate
like,
universe does not equal horror.
That's straight up sci-fi.
Okay, maybe suspense. That's suspense.
Yeah,
but,
okay,
like,
I'll accept
or
that.
thriller or whatever. But you see what I mean? Like all the memorable episodes are horror, and we should get more of that.
Well, I mean, okay, I agree. We should get more of it. I also have always believed Doctor Who is best when it is an interface when it really heightens the interface between horror and science fiction. Horror, then with a sci-fi explanation. They almost really landed it with that Frankenstein Mary Shelley episode of the 13th Doctor. They almost got us there.
Yeah.
Yep.
They did not stick the landing.
Nope.
The fact that she hasn't, I don't think she's been announced to write an episode in the new era, complete mistake. Like, that was the one writer in the last 5 years that came up with a half-good episode.
It actually makes sense when you think about it, because this is going to be his baby. He's making sure this gets back to what it was. And and he likes to have control with his shows he does.
Okay.
But like the only people he would let write, if you go back, are consistently and when they had over 12 episodes a season, are Stephen Moffat and then the Idiot Lantern.
I am a little upset that we're only getting 8 episodes in a special. I know that's greedy, but you know what? I don't care. I want more.
If you think about it, that's only 3 episodes less from the original.
Still.
And a lot, and the ones that really didn't matter were just like they have a couple episodes like what's that one? The second one, the first one with Mark Gatiss. Season 9. Season 1.
It's the 3rd episode. Unquiet Dead.
Unquiet Dead. That's a throwaway episode. You have a couple throwaway episodes when they were longer.
It's the first episode that goes back in time. It's the first historical episode. It's not really a historical episode.
All I'm saying is it's a throwaway episode to the overall plot. Where was Bad Wolf mentioned there?
Does it matter? That's an
overarching.
No, it does matter. It does matter because that's the actual plot of the entire overarching series.
And actually, you're wrong. There is a Bad Wolf mention.
Yeah. Isn't
Where?
it?
I see something in you. The big bad wolf.
Whatever.
It's there. Huh, Jimmy? It just became...
It's still a throwaway episode. It's still a throwaway episode. It's
Horror.
Say that about
horror.
Ghost.
It was absolutely horror.
Yeah.
Ghost, it was horribly bad.
Possessing dead bodies? That is Doctor Who at its best, Jimmy.
It's really
You just said it yourself.
No.
The big bad wolf. Okay, so going back to the point, yes, Jimmy, you are correct. The ones at Code Horror do tend to stand out more, and I think that was true. That for me, that's usually been true. Like I said, I think the best of Tom Baker, for me personally, is when it codes horror. Seeds of Doom, absolutely, 100%. Goes on a little long, and that's one. If we haven't talked about it, I don't remember if we've talked about. I would love to talk about it.
No,
but yeah, I want to talk about that one.
Not in a full episode. No, I meant like just on the podcast. We've talked about Seeds of Doom with you a lot. That's what I was just saying.
No, never enough. That's what I'm saying.
To wrap this up, though, just because we're getting on a little long, just like Seeds of Doom.
Real quick, before we wrap up, though. So the episode that was just announced, title name was like The Devil's Chord, right?
Yep.
Which made me think when Ncuti Gatwa was first asked when he was released, like saying, "Oh, he's the Doctor." The first thing he said was he would love to go against the Beast. That was the first thing he said. Someone said, "Hey, who would you want to go against?" He said, "The Beast from Possible Planet Satan Pit."
Well, we'll see what happens.
That'd be interesting, but I think that just only works as a one time.
I didn't even enjoy that one the first time, so you know, it's not high on my list.
All right, Landry, we gotta wrap this up. You're killing me.
It's no, It's no Absorbaloaf, so
Absorb a lot.
Turn it off. Delete this episode.
Anyway, Chris, it's your lead week.
Anyway, that is it for the live stream. Thank you everyone for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, check out our previous live streams or any of our previous videos. Next week, we're at the conclusion already. We only just got him back, and he's leaving in a few days. And we're going to talk about it next week. The Giggle. The Toy Maker is back. Neil Patrick Harris as the villain. And we see how this is going to unfold. Will we get answers? Will some of the leaks be true? I hope not.
Not only that, Kate Lethbridge Stewart's back, baby.
And Mel's back. Are we going to get an explanation? I hope so.
Kate Lethbridge Stewart is back and Landry doesn't care.
I don't. I never have. I just don't.
I know.
You don't like good things. End this show.
See you, everyone. Thank you for watching.
ALLONS-Y!
Geronimo.